If you go back in history, 100 years ago, Britain was the major trading nation of the world and the pound sterling was the major currency. That was soon overtaken by the dollar as the US became the dominant economy in the world in terms of trade flows and so on. China will take that position, and therefore in due course China's economic position, represented finally by its currency when it's fully internationalized, will be, one of the three great currencies in the world, I believe.
What experience do you think that RMB can learn from other major international currencies in their process of internationalization?
I think the most important thing for any currency is there needs to be a very, very deep pool of liquidity. In other words, there needs to be a sufficient volume of trading in the currency to make people understand that they can deal in almost any size in transparent markets and get certainty as to the price they'll get for currency. And the rule of law is fundamental. The rule of law is terribly, terribly important, so that when there is a contractual dispute, that the court system, the legal system, which underpins trading in any currency is predictable.
And what's the next goals and targets in this process?
Well, I think a number of targets. One, to increasingly demonstrate to international trading partners the benefits that can come from settling trade in RMB. Secondly, as I said, creating a long-term yield curve in the RMB through issuance of long-term bonds, which means creating a much deeper saving system and pension system in China.
How do the foreign banks think of the RMB internationalization? Do they welcome this process?
Absolutely, because the internationalization of the RMB is effectively just evidence of greater trade flows, and we were founded 148 years ago on the back of trade and investment flows, largely between Europe and China. So anything that promotes international trade, anything that creates volume through the financial markets is good for the financial system. And greater diversification in terms of investment opportunities and reserve management that comes from the emergence of another very strong liquid currency is good for the financial markets, good for international trade, good for the global economy.